Sometimes God removes people from our lives and we don't necessarily understand the reasons why at the moment, but we have to trust that His plan is perfect and He knows what's best for us, regardless if we see it or not. Most of the time, God will remove people from our life to protect us from harm, meaning He sees all of the things that this person or these people might be intending to do. He knows their heart. He knows their intentions aren't good. So if He's removing someone, most of the time it's because they intend to harm you in some way. Whether this person has gone through their own growing seasons and they know that they're intentionally doing it or not, a lot of people haven't necessarily done the work with God or their work in their own personal life to really become the person that God needs them to be. They go through life hurting people because that's their norm. That's normal to them. But you may give your love to these people, or you may be the person who gives love so much because you didn't necessarily receive it in the ways that you were looking for. And so you go through life and you end up getting hurt because they probably don't value the same things that you value. God knows the danger that's ahead. He knows all of the things that is planned for your life, including the people who are part of your life as well. So if He's removing someone, you have to know that it's for your good. But most of the time, what we try to do is fight God in these situations. We fight life thinking that we need these people because we want to change them. We want to help show them a new way of life. We want to show them love. We want to help change those parts of them that are actually hurting and destroying us. But at the end of the day, you can't change people because you'll spend a lifetime trying to change yourself. And if you understand how long it takes for you to change yourself sometimes, for you to even identify that you need to change, most of the time, these people have never identified that there's anything wrong with them. And if they have, they aren't necessarily willing to give that up. So you trying to change them is not in your best interest. You have to remove yourself, or you have to allow God to remove you, because God has to do a work in their life. And it's up to God to change them. Oftentimes we try to play the role of God in people's lives. We try to show them a better side. We try to show them different things, but God is the one who's going to do that. God is going to take them through their life experiences and allow them to change. God will often use difficult situations and difficult relationships to help reveal areas in which we need to grow, but also reveal our areas of strength as well. I relied on certain people in my life so much to the point where if they left or if they were removed from my life, I felt like I was stripped of everything because I put my all, my trust and everything into those relationships. And so if you've been in a season where you are relying on this person or these people in your life, maybe you're relying on these friendships, maybe you're relying on this relationship, whatever the case may be, God will show you whether or not these people are meant to be a part of your life. If they are, they'll add to your life. They won't subtract from it. They're not going to take from your life. But if these people are subtracting from your life, if they are putting you in uncomfortable or bad situations often, if they are making you feel less than yourself or constantly joking around in a manner in which it makes you feel bad about you, you can definitely identify that these people are not meant to be a part of your life, at least for long term. Sometimes we think that people are meant to be in our life for a lifetime. But what we understand through life experiences is that people are meant to be in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Maybe the reason is to teach you what areas you need to grow in life. Maybe it's a season to get you to your next destination, your next journey. Or maybe these people are indeed a part of your life for a lifetime. But the only way you're going to know that is if God continues to reveal that to you through the life experiences that you have and through your relationship continuing on for however long God intends for it to go for. I've lost a lot of friends in my life, and when I look back on the reasons why God removed them was because maybe you need to look at the areas in which you need to grow, the areas in which you have filled those voids with these people. We use friends or we use relationships to fill a void when actually God is supposed to be the one to fill those voids. God can use these experiences to prepare you for future challenges. So God foresees everything before it happens. And if He needs to develop your character or develop you, your spirit, or develop you in general, He might use these situations to help prepare you for that. And I apologize, you all, my son recently woke up, so I'm going to try and finish this video for you. God can't have new people into your life or the right people into your life if you are still holding on to the people who are not meant to be a part of your life. So if you're steadily holding on to these individuals, this relationship, God can't bless that situation. So He's going to need you to let go of a few things to gain a lot more. Sometimes we don't want to hear that. Sometimes we think we know everything. We think we know, how we can orchestrate our life, or we want to be the architect of our life, but we have to let go and allow God to do that for us. God will often use these relationships or the removing of people to help realign us with his word, realign us with his purpose for our lives, and also put us back on track. So I can specifically remember from my own life experiences how God has removed people who were not pouring into my purpose, but instead they were trying to put me on a different route. They were trying to tell me that they knew what was best for my life because they thought that they knew me. And those people are not in my life today. And as I can see, the very things that I felt like God was tugging me to do and the directions he was tugging me towards is exactly where I am now. I know that sometimes I didn't necessarily have to do anything for people to be removed out of my life. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to, just cut ties completely. A lot of times these people would remove themselves, or certain life situations would naturally remove us apart. And I'm thankful for that, because sometimes we don't necessarily want to be the one to bear bad news to people, or like come to someone and be like, look, God told me you're not supposed to be a part of my life. Like, no. You can honestly, if you feel like you need to remove yourself, start by isolation. God can isolate us already. He can remove us and put us in a season of isolation without us having to do anything. You might find yourself in a season of isolation right now and you didn't even realize, or maybe you don't know that you didn't do that to yourself. That has happened to me a lot, but there has been times where I've removed myself because I wanted to see if what God was saying was true, right? I wasn't testing God, but I was like, okay, well, I feel like these people are bringing out the worst in me. I feel they're taking from my life. They're subtracting from me. They're not adding to my life. So let me just remove myself. Let me put myself in a space where I'm alone for a little bit and I can just refocus. I always said I was going to refocus or just get my head back on straight. Sometimes we can't isolate ourselves, or God can naturally isolate us. But at the end of the day, it's to strengthen your faith in him and to allow you to refocus on him rather than man. They can't go where you're going. So if God is removing people out of your life, it's because he knows where he's taking you. He knows where you're headed. And these people are not going where you're going. Don't fight it. If you are trying to fight this with God and you're trying to plead your case and trying to say that you'll change them, if these people haven't changed on their own, they're not going to change just because you want them to. So allow God to do a work in their life, and allow him to continue to do a work in your life, and everything will fall into place. So when God removes someone, it's always for your good. It's not meant to harm you. It's not detrimental to your life. It's actually meant to restore you and make you better than before.